Hello everyone. Today I want to compare two Razer products. One is Razer Naga Pro. This is a V1 Gen 1 edition. And this is brand new Razer Naga V2 Hyperspeed I just bought. So I've been using the Pro version for 5 years now. So it's still working after 5 years. That's commendable. This one will set you back. Well, you can buy the new version, V2 version, but I think they're quite similar, the V1 and the V2 versions. This one will set you back 200 to 300 euros depending on where you live, and this one will probably set you 100 euros. So this one is nearly half the price than this one. So what are the main differences? Well, as you can see, the Pro version is modular. You can change the side panel to have 12 buttons, 2 buttons, or 6 buttons, while the Hyperspeed is fixed. So the side panel is only 12 buttons, but you get 2 extra side buttons, and the scroll can be set in free spin mode, so you can freely spin it, while the Pro version cannot. So why did I decide after 5 years of using the Pro version switch to Hyperspeed? Well, I would say the two greatest strengths of the Pro version are also its two greatest weaknesses. So the first strength, why this one is more expensive than this one, even though they are both made out of plastic, is because, well, with this one you have the modular panel. But if you are going to use only 12 buttons, I really do not see why you would need all 3 of them. I've been mostly using this mouse for gaming and all sorts of games. I would argue even if you're playing FPS games or MOBAs or strategy games, and you think 12 buttons is too much, well, if you're going to use 2 buttons, you can use only these 2 buttons. It doesn't make much sense to keep relearning the mouse. I do really enjoy using 12 button side panel because when you get used to it, it becomes muscle memory, and you can use these buttons for nearly everything in the game. Opening inventory, maps, you can make macros, and that's all brilliant. So for me, I don't see the point of using other side panels and have to relearn the same thing. If you only want to use 2 out of 12, feel free to do so. I don't know why you would need to swap 12 for 2. Well, that's other thing. So, but the more important thing is, because this is a modular panel, and number one reason why I decided to swap is because after, well, 5 years of ownership, I started to lose connections. So these buttons started to lose connections with the mouse, and some of the buttons stopped working and would stop working, then start working, and so on. Some of the macros would not work. Some of the macros would get stuck, and the mouse would register input but would not register that you are no longer pressing the key, so it would keep spamming that one button like you are holding it when you are not. So the modularity of the side panel is point of failure, and reading some of the comments for the new Pro version, well, let's say that people are still having that issue. So you're paying double or even triple the price with the uncertainty if you will start to encounter issues with side panel. This one and this one has never been used by me, so I've only been using 12 buttons. So I cannot even say I have been swapping it constantly on or off. The problem is when you're gaming or heavily using this one, you are pressing and shaking, and there is some wiggle room where you can lose the connection. Then I would pull down the panel and I would establish the connection. Other than that, I never had any problems with freezing or cursor. The mouse is still working. Even the side panel is still working, but over the last year, this has been more annoying issue, and I don't want my keys to get stuck while I'm playing the MMOs when I can have something like this. This has the solid panel, and the point of failure from modularity of the side panel is not there. Also, one of the reasons why this one is more expensive is the battery. So this one does not come with AA battery, but you can charge it on a cord, plug into PC when it goes run out of the power. And this one, well, you have to use the batteries, so you cannot plug it by a wire to the PC. You have to use the battery, which is, well, one would say it's better to not buy the batteries and just keep using having the Pro versions. But you have to keep in mind, well, after 5 years of having this mouse, if I'm going to use it the whole day, I can maybe get 2 days out of it, if so. And this one, it's claiming 250 hours of usage, and when you run out of the battery, you just put the new one in. You can maybe buy rechargeable batteries, and so this one, like your mobile phone, will start to lose the battery capacity. First it will be strong, then after a few years it will be less and less good. So even the charging part is kinda weakness, not really its strength. In terms of the weight, quite similar in weight. You would think this one would be heavier because it has a battery in it, a real battery, AA battery. But I mean, this one also have the battery, but it's just like your mobile phone. It's integrated into the mount. So it's quite similar in weight, actually. So this one does have the RGB. The scroll can be light up. The side buttons are RGB, and the Razer logo is RGB. And this one doesn't have the RGB. Well, presumably for power savings. But, well, I think it's pointless to have RGB here on the main body of the mouse, because your palm of your hands will cover it anyway, and, well, when this side panel gets worn out, it isn't really as pretty even with the lights, but you will mostly look at the PC, you won't even look at the mouse. Only if you are using it for, I don't know, AFK aesthetics, then go with the Pro because it has RGB. Well, that's pretty much it. I didn't want to spend 200 or 300 euros for it to have the same problem why I'm getting rid of the V1, because with the V2, well, always, because this side panel is modular, you're risking the failure point in connections with the magnets and all. Maybe I have been lucky to have this mouse for 5 years with minimal issues. I would say the last year I have been plagued by this connection problem with the side panel, and I just don't want to risk it. This is basically the same product, and I think it will be fine for me since I'm only using the 12 button side panels. Also in hand, they feel quite similar. Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover, and my reasons why I went with the the less expensive Hyperspeed than the more expensive V2 Gen 2 versions of the Pro. Like I said, I've read some comments that the problems with the side panel persists from Gen 1 to Gen 2, and I just didn't want to risk it buying such expensive product, even though it does work even after five years. Just, it's annoying. Well, yeah, if you have any questions, I just got the Hyperspeed just now, unpacked it, and well, I will see if it will go, if it will going to last, and if it will have any issues. Thank you and take care.